Welcome back, Phillies fans. Don't know if you were expecting to hear from me as general manager of your favorite team, the Phillies again, but here we are. And here's what we're going to do. I am going to resign as general manager of the Phillies, and we're going to sim ahead and see all the decisions that the Phillies make and how they do. In this episode, we're going to go ahead 1 year. And I'd gotten some requests when the series wrapped at the end of the 2031 season to sim ahead 5 or 10 years just to see how guys turn out and see how the Phillies do without me, etc. And so we're going to do that now. This is a really interesting offseason for the Phillies, which I think is why we can dedicate an entire episode just to them navigating this offseason without me and then going through the season. So just to go through where the team is at, if you remember, which I didn't, I did double check, we lost in the NLCS to the Giants in 5 games to end the 2031 season. We won 99 games that year. And so coming into this offseason, there are definitely some decisions that need to be made. Aaron Nola did retire. We're retiring his number. Really, and I covered this in the last one, but really after like the 2027 season at age 33 was never really the same just because of injuries. Ran into some injuries. He's retiring as one of the greatest pitchers in the history of the organization. So in terms of decisions coming, well, Juan Soto exercised his option year, and he will be back at he just turned 33, so he'll be back at the age of 33 for 1 more year at $37.25 million from that 8-year deal he signed prior to the 2025 season. Soto, as we covered previously, has been a bit disappointing, not really an MVP caliber player over the majority of this sim, but he'll be back. Christian Pache, who is our center fielder, who we overpaid for to keep back in, I don't know, some year after the 2030 season, just because he was still good defensively. It hasn't worked out. He was terrible in 2031, but he exercised his club option year at $15 million. But he would consider some trades. So who knows what the new Phillies GM will do. Willie Adames has a club option year, and he's been our shortstop since 2021. I mean, he's been around forever. Pache, I think, has been our center fielder since right around then as well. He's 36. His bat really hasn't been good in a while. I shouldn't say that. He's been a league average player with the bat a bit below league average. Say that 5 times fast. And the glove solidly above league average. So they've got decisions to make there at shortstop. The free agent decisions are fascinating. Bryce and Manny, both age 39, both free agents, 2 of the best players in the history of the franchise. Harper, at age 39, it looks like maybe the wheels have started to come off here for him. I think that he could still be not versus left. Maybe he could be like a platoon player. He still put up a 105 WRC plus against righties. But I don't think his contract is going to be. Oh, he's not. Oh, you know what I think I did? No, I don't. Did I? I don't think I offered him an extension. I don't think I would have done that. So I think he's unhappy because he was batting further down the lineup. He's upset about his performance in his role in team. I had him batting like 8th, and he wants to be in the middle of the lineup. So wow, maybe that bridge is burned. Maybe Bryce isn't even open to coming back. Maybe once he hits free agency, he will, and sees that he needs to take like a 1-year, $5 million deal. We'll also be following Manny Machado as he goes into free agency at the age of 39. Manny has had some health issues. Maybe that's just because, yeah, he had some health issues. He's come back. I mean, he's still an above league average player according to WAR. The bat is around league average the last few years. The glove still very much above league average. So is he a useful player still? Yeah, I think so. But but he wants 4 years, $89 million deal. If I were running the team, I would let him go to free agency, let him get a little more real about what he's asking, and then maybe consider bringing him back on a short deal to play third, depending on what the rest of the organization looked like at third base depth. We've got a bunch of arbitration decisions. Carter Daniels, our 14th round pick from 2021, who's a very good pitcher for us. Will Carson, another member of the rotation. Some bullpen arms, Andy Shearing being the big bullpen arm, who's a arbitration eligible. Nate Culbertson, who's a middle of the lineup bat, who put up a 148 WRC plus. He was a former draft pick. Mike Anthony Valdez, the former number 1 prospect in baseball, who has shown flashes of brilliance in the major leagues, but was not this last year. He's another interesting decision. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gist of the decisions. That's a lot of stuff here that this GM has to decide, especially in terms of Manny, Bryce, because there are guys knocking on the door here to come in and replace Bryce. Some guys that are already here, like Ethan Doss, who got hurt, who looks like a very good bat. We've got a couple guys in AAA in terms of outfielders. Maybe they're on the 40-man, so they're up. Maybe I put them up here. 40-man outfielders. Ba-bum. I mean, Ed Milam looks like this avoid K's and power is so much fun. But he's just, I mean, he was unhappy, I guess, in AAA this year and didn't perform that well, but he's been really good. Childry is a former first-round pick who had a lot of success in AAA this year. So, there are a lot of bats here that could replace guys like Harper. And the starting rotation, I think, still looks really good. I think this is still a really good team, but certainly going through changes here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to resign, and maybe we'll go up to the first day of free agency here and see how arbitration went, see if how the option year on Adames went. Did they reach a deal with Manny for some reason before free agency? Let's go ahead and see what's going on here as we hop ahead. All right, so we are at day 1 of free agency. Free agents have filed. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the Phils have done without me. Actually, who replaced me? Let's see. Who replaced me is who's got to fill my shoes? Michael Hill. Oh, I guess he was my assistant GM. Sure, sounds right. I don't pay any attention to who my assistant GM is ever. Okay, so that guy replaced me. I mean, good luck, buddy. Good luck. And let's go to the transaction log. The major transaction log. Let's go back to October where we left off. Okay, so yeah, blah, blah, blah. All right, so nothing there. We already knew all that stuff. So into November. So they did bring in a new pitching coach. I think the last one that I had for a while, I think he retired. And then a bunch of arbitration deals. These were all the arbitration guys. Auto renewal. Hearn became a free agent. Neuweiler, Manny, Bryson Stott, Bryce Harper. So they didn't re-sign any of those guys. And they did exercise the option on Willy Adames. So he's back for one more year at $11 million. What is strange is they don't have any money? Like, oh, the owner brought down the budget by $10 million. And that's not ideal. Okay. So the starting balance is negative $4 million. Yeah, so they don't have any money to sign Bryce or Manny or that. No money for free agents. I mean, if they had a crafty GM at the helm, they could move out some of this money. I mean, certainly overpaying for some guys. Or they could also bring down their scouting budget, which is at $24 million, or their development budget is at $28.5 million. For some reason, the draft budget is why is the draft budget at 21.8? Okay, so they have money to spend if they can just get themselves together here. They have money to spend. We'll see if they do that. There are some other interesting free agents. I mean, Bregman is moderately interesting, but Carlos Correa, Manny Machado, but Vlad Jr. is out there. Eloy is out there. Dalton Varsho, legend. Bo Bichette. I don't even think Harper's on this list. No, he's a has-been at this point. All right, so I think let's go ahead to the winter meetings here. Let's just I think it'll sim pretty fast, although this file is actually pretty big at this point. That's what she said. So maybe it won't go too fast, but I'm just going to sim ahead here. And then at the winter meetings, we'll take another look at the transaction log, because maybe you can see some trades are happening here. Mariners and Twins, White Sox and Angels. I haven't noticed anything Phillies related come across yet, but it'd be really interesting to see if I think what I'm most interested in is probably what happens with Bryce and Manny. What kind of deals do they sign? Who do they sign with? Now we've got an autosave going on, and I forgot how many other leagues I have in this sim, so it's not a zippy file. But yeah, so Adame signed another extension with the Phillies. I mean, he was kind of toast. It was kind of debatable whether they should have executed that option that they picked up, but they did. Yeah, let's start there. What did they do? What did they do with Willy Adames? I mean, he's 36. They signed him to a 3-year, $25.9 million deal. He has to play in 135 games for the third year. So it's essentially, so it's 2 years, $9 million a year. I guess my question is just why? Why do you have to make that deal now? It seems like you could wait until later in the season to see if you want to re-sign him. I doubt they've really done much else because they really don't have any money. Yeah, there's the Adames extension. Yeah, they haven't done anything else yet. Let's see if Bryce or Manny went anywhere yet. Oh, Bregman signed 3 years, $72.8 million to the Cardinals. No Bryce or Manny moving anywhere yet. Manny is rumored to be the Nats are rumored to be interested in him. Let's see if Bryce has made his way onto the board yet here. No, different Bryce. Not our Bryce. All right, let's see. Let's go up through the winter meetings ending, and then I'll skip ahead a bit. Sometimes a good bit of stuff can happen in the winter meetings. So we'll see. I think it might be a fairly boring offseason for the Phillies, but maybe there will be Bryce or Manny movement. Let's see. Okay, we're here. Robbie Ray, blah blah blah. Nope. Okay, so nothing going on really yet, and of course, the Phillies didn't do anything. Let's just double check that here. Yeah, no, so nothing going on. So I'll sim ahead a bit, and then we'll get updated on where everything is at in terms of the Phils and the ex-Phils. Okay, we are now at the beginning of spring training. It's February 26, 2032. Let's go ahead and check in on our favorite team, the Philadelphia Phillies. We left off in December of 31, so we'll go back there. Nothing big going on here, just some DFAs. Lost this guy in the Rule 5 draft. The Adames thing we covered. So then we go forward to January, and nothing really going on there. February, a bunch of non-rosters. They did make a bullpen signing. Well, they have him listed as he's an RP, but he can start. Elvis Luciano. So this is a guy that was a decent starter for the Blue Jays through the mid-20s. Had a couple of decent seasons, but he really hasn't been a starter in 2 seasons. I mean, it's a really cheap deal. No big risk, but I don't know. Yeah, DFA'd a guy to make room, and so they really haven't done anything. And I think the reason is because they do have some money for free agents now. So they redid some of their budgets, but they went through most of the offseason with it was saying zero money for free agents as I was looking at it. I guess they adjusted some of the, for some reason, this is like a glitch, right? $27 million allotted for the draft with 17.5 recommended draft slots. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I didn't download a patch to fix that. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, so they lowered the player development budget a bit to get some money, and they might have lowered the scouting. Oh, it won't let me see. I can probably see the scouting. Boom, boom. Here in accounting, scouting expenses. Oh yeah, I had it at 24 million. They took it down to 7 million. So they've got a little bit of cash to play with now, but really they went through most of the season without that cash to play with. So, really not anything is different here with the hitters, the pitching. None of these are new players. All guys who have kind of been in the mix. And where's the dude that they signed there? He's just kind of going to battle for a long relief spot. Luciano is. So yeah, nothing really doing with them. So, but we did get some action other places in the league. So Manny Machado signed a deal. Mr. Miami Machado went to the Portland Pickles. He went on a 3-year deal worth $52.4 million. The third year is a vesting option. He has to play in 135 games in the second year of the deal. So Manny at 39 still doing it. Still out there. I don't think the Pickles have had a lot of success in there since they joined the league. No, they've been bad. They've been really bad. So now they've got Manny. Bryce is still unsigned. Bryce, Bam Bam, Harper, no team. There were some other big moves. I'll show them to you real quick. Let's see. Let's just hit the real big ones. That's what she said. So Will Sanders, who is one of that ace pitcher for the Pirates, 7 years, $155 million to the Nats. 7 years, $86 million for Bryson Lucas to the Nats, so I don't remember him. Alejandro Kirk went to the Braves for 5 years, $84 million. Let's see, were there any other? 4 years for Jesus Sanchez. Blake Rutherford. Eloy went back to the White Sox for 4 years, $70 million. I think he had left them. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So Eli left the White Sox in 2025 and then went and played 6 years in New York, and now he's coming back to Chicago to, I guess, for the rest of his career. That's cool. You love to see it. Let's see. There were some other big deals, but Correa went to the Nats for 3 years. Devers went to the A's for 2 years. But yeah, so Vlad Jr. hasn't signed anywhere yet. Neither has Bryce. So that's the gist of it right now. I'm gonna take it up to opening day, and then that'll look at the preseason predictions and all that, and see if Bryce is latched on anywhere. See where Vlad is. All right. Well, I'd like to introduce you to the newest member of the Honolulu Pacifics, of course, the expansion team that entered the MLB, like 5 years ago. Bryce Bam Bam Harper has signed a 1-year, $6.2 million deal, and he is going to take all this hardware of his to Honolulu because he wants to live in Hawaii despite the terrible travel schedule. So, I don't know that this is a team that's any good, but maybe Bryce is going to get to pad his home run totals and all that, playing right field on a team that's not going to expect much from him. Looks like he's going to be their number 2 hitter. Is he going to play versus lefties too? Oh, he's getting the cleanup spot against lefties. Okay, good luck. Let's see. They've been a bit better. Yeah, they've been a little better than the other team. Portland, right? Portland Pickles, I think. Yeah, they've been a little bit better than them. But so that's where Bryce goes. Tough to see him move on. Tough to see him leave Philly after so long, being a fixture of the franchise. I understand why the Phillies wouldn't bring him back for that, but at the same time, you would hope that maybe they could have found a deal for him to bring him back. But I probably wouldn't have if I was playing it out. So, just kidding. Vlad, despite still, he hasn't been himself the last 2 seasons. He's trailed off significantly, but just a 1-year deal for him, $17.2 million to the Angels. So that's where Vlad ends up, and we're at opening day, so we can look at the preseason predictions. The Phillies predicted to win 106 games, 896 runs, 646 against. Just predicted to be a very, very excellent team. Ken Gieske up here in the best hitters, as well as Danny San Miguel. We've got Trevor Rogers still doing his thing as a top starter. Carter Daniels as well. And let's go ahead and look at their roster, see if they're making any ridiculous decisions or anything. I actually haven't looked at this yet. Oh, Brady House. All right. Let's go to the transaction log. They made some moves here that skipped, went under my radar. All right, let's go to the major transaction log. Let's go back to February. All these we saw. Okay, they signed Ricardo Sanchez to a $3 million deal, and he didn't make the team. He's in AAA. All right, way to go. Let's see. They signed Josh Wolf to a 1-year deal. He is in Philly. Okay. March, what happened in March? They did what with Juan Soto? They signed Juan Soto to a 5-year, $86.4 million deal at the age of 33. 33. And I mean, like, he's good, but he's coming off a real bad year, and he hasn't been great in a while. I mean, it's not a terrible. As the Phillies, you can pay a guy this. $18 million is nothing. Like, you could have a team of $18 million guys, but that is an interesting decision. I totally forgot to look at this transaction log before I started recording, so this is all new to me as I'm going through it. All right, so James Marinan, 4-year, $48.4 million deal is certainly also a decision that one can make. This was a guy that I brought into the bullpen, and I thought he was a starter. So I traded for him back in 2030, and he was in my bullpen, but I guess, did they see him as a starter? Like, why is he getting that kind of money? 4 years, $48 million deal, and he's in the bullpen. Man, what is this? I mean, look, you got tons of money, new GM. I get it. You got tons of money, and you can afford to pay multiple relievers $12.1 million. But why? I don't know. He was excellent last year. I mean, 77 innings and 2.92 ERA, 2.73 FIP, 1.9 WAR. I mean, very good reliever, but I don't like that deal at all. Kyle Mott, I think I'll like this one better. 2 years, $27.4 million. He's a starter. And he pitched 178 innings for us last year with a 3.9 WAR and 5.3 R WAR. Like, that's a good deal. And he was going to be a free agent. 2 years, 13.7 per year. In the second year as a vesting, he has to pitch 180 innings this year. I mean, that's a really good deal. I know he's 31, but I like that deal a lot. Then they just assigned guys different places. Luciano was already designated for assignment. Milam got hurt. So they signed Brady House to a 1-year, $1.14 million deal. House came into the league as an Orioles player, 5th overall in 2021. And MLB, he didn't make it to the major leagues until 2025. And, I mean, he's been a pretty solid player, but not full-time too much. But, I mean, he's got a 110 WRC plus in his major league career. Averages 4 WAR per 162. I think that's a great value signing. I think, yeah, I really like that deal a lot. I'm not sure what else they had going on at third base, but that's great late offseason value. And let's see. Oh, Pache was DFA'd. Wow. Okay, end of an era here. He had been our center fielder since 2024, and he was making too much money. It was a bad deal at this point in his career, but, you know, he still can play the outfield really well. So he's known as a tightwad. Yeah, Pantoja, who was a first-round pick of mine, DFA'd. It's a pretty good player. I guess he's out of options. Yeah. So we'll see. Shinoda is up. Mike Winter, I believe he was a 4th-round pick of mine in 2025. Yeah, I mean, that's a fine player to DFA, but he was really good in AAA last year, 113 WRC+. The rest of these guys don't really remember much of. Wow. Okay. So Pache is gone. So what? So, oh, right, because we have Giesky. Okay, obviously they can get rid of Pache. Giesky's a superstar. I've been off the job since last season. I already am not adding it all up. I mean, this is still an awesome offense. Romo, Culbertson. I'm excited that Shinoda will get a chance. He was a guy who always looked like he could be pretty good, but he never got like a full chance for me. House, Adame, Soto, Giesky, Doss, San Miguel. Ethan Doss, I'm really excited to see over a full season because you can see in part-time duty he just ripped the cover off the ball for me at the 153 and 133 WRC plus. Do they have him in the? They have him as their number 5 starter. That makes no sense to me. He's not a very good pitcher. 40 stuff, 35 control, 50 movement. I mean, he's got above average fastball and slider. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, Kevin Melendez is a much better pitcher than him. Jalen Miller is probably a better pitcher than him. Who's George Kirby? Guy they signed to a minor league deal. Yeah, I mean, Marinin could start, and I don't know why Doss is in the rotation. That makes no sense to me. Josh Wolf is a guy they just signed. Yeah, I don't know why some of these guys are in their bullpen, but here they are. Yeah, so that's the Phils going into opening day. They actually have a lot of money for free agents. They dropped their ticket price. Their system is 8th in the league, 8th in MLB, and they're predicted to win the NL. So I'm just looking. I don't even remember drafting this guy. I don't remember that name at all. That's a pretty good name too, Avery Junot. So yeah, all right. So let's go ahead. I think I'll just go up to the trade deadline here and see what's going on. But interesting times in Phillies land here. We'll see how they do. All right, August 1st, 2032. Your Phillies are in 3rd place, 68 and 43, 5 games back. And remember, again, the top 4 make the postseason. So they're in pretty good shape. They're 7 games up on the Diamondbacks, who are in 5th, who have lost 7 in a row. Expanded standings, how they doing here? Plus 95 run differential. They're plus 3. They're at the Pythagorean. Nothing crazy there. Line up some pitching staff. Ken Giesky just absolutely killing it with 6.1 WAR, and it's August 1st. A 160 WRC plus. Who is this guy? They got him from the White Sox. He's played 7 games. Okay, interesting. They also don't have a backup. What's going on here? Okay. I don't know what's going on with their lineup here. Valdez is hurt. Pending. Oh, and I know they just lost another infielder, so maybe they're just still sorting stuff out. Because Devin Moore is now their 3rd baseman, and he's put up negative 1.7 WAR as their 3rd baseman in 350 plate appearances. Yeah, that's a thing. That's ridiculous. Wow. And San Miguel isn't a starter anymore. Man, I don't know what this guy's doing here running this team. Culbertson is the league average player starting over San Miguel, who can't even find a place in the lineup. Valdez, for some reason, is playing first base to block Culbertson from coming in and putting San Miguel at DH. I mean, thank goodness they have Ken Giesky here, and Ethan Doss ripping the cover off the ball. But Danny San Miguel can't get a spot in the lineup. Juan Soto's had a disappointing season. Man, okay. Interesting. Well, they've got Pablo Lopez in the house. Signed him as a minor league free agent. Okay. Looks like they've got some serious injuries here. I don't see... Yeah, what's going on in their deal? Because I don't see Trevor Rogers or... Matan's out on a rehab, and Rogers is out for 4 months. He's been out since June. Wow. I'm surprised they're doing so well. Mott is out too. Childry, who's an outfielder, is out. Man, rough on the pitching staff. Like 3 of your starting pitchers are out, and they traded for Yohan Moncada. And they traded for him on the 26th, and on the 30th he sprained his knee. So that's some of what's going on with their infield. So I don't know, some interesting decisions there. But anyways, we've got other guys to check on here. Let's see how Mr. Miami's doing. Okay, this is respectable. 40 years old, and he's on pace to put up 2.1 WAR. He's got a 95 WRC plus. Manny doing Manny things. He's got 12 home runs. Has he he's got over 3,000 hits now. He's coming up on 600 home runs and 3,000 hits. So, I mean, Manny is an all-time great here. Let's see what Bryce is doing. He's in Honolulu, and he's hurt. But I mean, it looks like he's playing like part-time because he's only been out for 2 weeks, and he's still on pace to have 396 plate appearances. But he's playing well. 123 WRC plus. Has he reached any milestones with hits or anything? Let's look at his MLB. So he'd already had the 500 home run. He's up to 518. He crossed over 2,500 hits, so that's cool. But it looks like he's not necessarily an everyday player for them, which makes sense. I would assume he's sitting against lefties, maybe. Yeah, 56 plate appearances against lefty, 215 against righties. That's honestly the right call to platoon him. How are Honolulu and Portland in the standings? Honolulu is decent. If they went on a ridiculous tear, they could make a run. The Pickles are terrible. So if you were asking me, do I kind of wish the Phillies were bad because it would make me feel better about myself? The answer is yes. But if the question is, am I also kind of glad that my old team is doing well? Ken Gieske's ripping it up. And, the answer is also yes to that. But I don't know about some of these decisions, man. Some of these decisions are crazy. Like not finding a spot in the lineup for Sam Miguel. Whatever, man. Hey, you do you, New Phillies. So let's go ahead and see how this season ends for this Phillies team that is being run in a very interesting manner. So the Phillies won the most games in the majors, 108 and 54, 2 games up on the Giants. Only one team in the AL crossed the 100 win plateau. I mean, 102 for the Yankees. They won the AL by 11 games over the Rangers and the White Sox. Over here in the superior NL, we had 3 teams cross 100 wins: the Phillies, the Giants, and the Cardinals. And then when we get to the postseason, lost to the Giants again in the NLCS, 7 games. And then the World Series went 7 games too. Same World Series as last year, Giants, Yankees, but with a different winner, the Giants coming out on top. So the Phillies couldn't pull it out. Let's see what did Ken Giesky end the season with? 9.5 WAR, 167 WRC plus. Shinoda, just 130 starts, but 4.2 WAR. Drew Romo doing his thing. Ethan Doss basically played a little over half a season and put up 3.4 WAR. Juan Soto had a decent bounce back. Still not a guy I would assign to that extension. And then I don't know what they're doing here with this with the Valdez, Miguel, Culbertson combination. Mike Anthony Valdez was actually pretty good. And then they've got everybody in the 40-man up right now, but a whole lot of cluster after that. They only got 14 starts from Trevor Rogers, only 8 from Kyle Mott, only 24 from Jacob Matan. Drew Gray is apparently in their rotation now. So a lot of injuries on the pitching side of things. I'm impressed they were able to do that well. Let's do one last check-in on our 2 guys. Oh, that didn't work. Machado, let's see. Manny ended the season with 1.4 WAR. He must have gotten hurt. He only played in 101 games. What happened to you, Manny? Oh, he injured his oblique. He missed basically the last 6 weeks of the season. He went out first week of August with an injured oblique, so missed 6 weeks there. Oh, he made the All-Star team last year. Gotcha. Okay, and a couple day-to-day injuries with his back. But overall, he'll be back again. He's got 1 more year and then vesting year. But let's check on Bryce. It'd help if I spelled his name right. Bryce Harper ended up playing 83 games, a nice 369 plate appearances, a 113 WRC plus. So a solid. Was I on splits for Manny too? If I was, sorry. If I was looking at stuff for him. Looks like Bryce spent a little time on a rehab assignment, but he went yard 18 more times. He crossed 1,500 RBI. So solid season from Bryce, future Hall of Famer. We'll see where he ends up in his career. because he's about to hit the free agent market again. And so this was the plus 1 year after my resignation video. I'm gonna go forward 5 years. We'll see. I'm sure Bryson Manning will be retired at that point, and then maybe go forward 10 years too, just to see what kind of decade the Phillies have without me. But their first year was pretty good. I'm impressed with their record, especially with all the injuries they have. Not all that impressed with some of their contracts that they signed and decision making. I mean, just no need to be putting that deal out there to Juan Soto. Trevor Rogers is a free agent, so they've got a bunch of decisions. Giesky has an opt-out coming up. I mean, their first 2 starters who did miss a lot of time this year are both free agents. So I don't know. Actually, Carter Daniels, number 3 starter, also a free agent. So I don't know what they're going to do for pitching next year. That'll be interesting to see. But that wraps it for this episode. For 1 year into the future of your Out of the Park 22 Phillies, we will be back in the next episode with 5 years into the future for your Phillies. Thanks for watching, and talk to you guys in the next video.